true. We are live, man. Had to do it, right? You had to bring him back. You had to bring back Goldberg to the WWE. We made it 3 hours, folks. Almost 3 hours. 2 hours and 59 minutes. And Goldberg wants to challenge for the WWE title. Oh, man. All for the sake of ratings. On what was an absolutely dreadful Legends Raw. There's so much that I'm going to rant about today. I'm glad you joined me. We're going to break this thing down right here on the Monday Night Raw post show. This is the only podcast you need in the entire IWC. It's 2021, man. We're doing it big. Right here on Off the Script.
This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, hipster hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. I am JD from New York. This is your Monday Night Raw review for January 4th, 2021. Tonight I'm drinking this stuff, man. I've heard about it. I was very skeptical about it. They're not sponsoring the show. It's just me bullshitting with you guys right off the top. Drinking this Liquid Death. This purified water from the Austrian Alps. Now, I was very skeptical about this stuff, but my God, man, this is delicious. It's just water, really. It's really just water when it boils down to it. But it's water. I love the sparkling water. It's carbonated like beer. It's not carbonated like soda. Soda's very overly fizzy. This is nicely carbonated. You could drink it. Nice like a beer. I love it. The reason why I mention Liquid Death is because Monday Night Raw made me feel like Liquid Death tonight. This show was a fucking abomination of abominations, man. I don't believe that it's 2021 and you're producing a Monday Night Raw that is just as bad as anything last year. And then on top of that, you got Bill Goldberg ending the fucking show, man. We're in. What did I tell you on Saturday? If you missed the fucking show on Saturday, what were my words exactly? 2021 is going to be the worst creative year in the history of this company if you thought 2020 was bad. Get ready. WWE is going to make me out to be the fucking modern day Nostradamus. even going to rant on Legends Night. By the way, I want to get this right out of the way. Alicia Fox got 5 seconds. She's not a legend. Just to trigger all the fucking idiots out there. Got that out of my system. I'm not even going to rant on Alicia Fox. I'm not going to rant on any of the legends, to be quite honest with you, because they came in and they were given such a minuscule role on this show. They basically did nothing to enhance the show. All they were there for was to help Vince McMahon plug the fucking holes with Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids, because that's all this fucking company knows how to do. Plug the goddamn ratings holes, because this show's a sinking ship. And use whatever name value that they have left to try and coerce USA Network into thinking, hey man, WWE is actually doing the right thing. Look, the ratings are up. I don't know how much farther they could go down after the last 3 fucking weeks. So anything after tonight is going to look like a fucking up. They were basically there to shill Vince McMahon and help Vince McMahon and aid his show, a dying show, in a desperate attempt to get ratings by using whatever name value that they have left. They were brought in to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's that. They were not even a factor on the show. If they were there or not, it don't make a difference. If they weren't there, this would have been another awful Monday Night Raw. They didn't make the show worse. They didn't make the show better. It was not even worth mentioning. It really wasn't. It was nothing more than a gimmick to try and generate ratings. That's all it was. And you and I both know that. Let's get that out of the way. The big thing that happened tonight happened in the last 3 minutes of the show. Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee had a WWE title match. And by all accounts, it was probably Keith Lee's best match on the main roster. I'll give him that. I still don't agree with how WWE is booking Keith Lee. He lost, by the way, clean. So for all the fucking geeks out there, oh, well, he's in a WWE championship. Now, we don't know what's going to happen going into WrestleMania. For all accounts, he could be in the WWE title match at WrestleMania. Maybe not. Maybe Drew McIntyre's not even the WWE champion going into WrestleMania. Knowing these fucking people. He had the best match of his WWE main roster run in the 4 months he's been on the main roster. I'll give him that. I still don't appreciate the way that they did Keith Lee dirty. This is not anything close to the NXT version of Keith Lee. We did see some NXT Keith Lee come out tonight, which I appreciate. The big pounce over the barricade like he did to Adam Cole. We did the Spanish fly off the top rope tonight to Drew McIntyre. They almost fucking killed themselves, but they did a Spanish fly. I'm surprised Vince McMahon allowed that to happen because that's not a big man move. Maybe somebody heard me last week. Best main roster match for Keith Lee thus far. I appreciate the effort of both men. I'm a fan of both guys. I just don't appreciate the way they are trying to turn Keith Lee into this big man, this slow, boring, methodical big man, reminiscent of Mark Henry. I want Keith Lee to do Keith Lee-like things. You know, it's more impressive when Keith Lee does pull out a Spanish fly every now and then. I don't ask him to do it every fucking match. But the guy wasn't moving like this in NXT. He wasn't. I don't need him to move like Braun Strowman. We already have enough of Braun Strowman. But it was a good match nonetheless. It wasn't a pay-per-view worthy main event, but it was a good Monday Night Raw main event for what it was. After the match, it looked like Drew McIntyre wanted to congratulate Keith Lee on a great match and really kind of put him over. And then all of a sudden, Bill Goldberg comes out and he walks down the aisle. The legends were on the stage. They were set up to make the match feel more important than it really was. Backing Keith Lee were all the legends, trying to put him over in a light in which WWE is desperately trying to get Keith Lee over, but they know they fucked up. Goldberg walks right down the middle of the legends who are separated on both sides of the stage. Goes to the ring, asks for a microphone, And he promptly challenged Drew McIntyre to a WWE title match at the Royal Rumble. Now, if you guys have been listening to me, we've been talking about good old Bill for a couple of weeks now. And it is no secret to anybody that he wants Roman Reigns. He's been lobbying for a rematch against Roman Reigns. Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon are dumb enough to want to do that match again when nobody wanted to see it last year. They're dumb enough to do it. So Bill is back, challenges for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble. And I have a couple of questions. I have a couple of scenarios that are running through my mind in this late hour on a Monday night. Now, we don't know what the intention is. The first thing that jumped off the page to me with Bill Goldberg was, all right, he challenged Drew McIntyre on Raw, but he's been lobbying for a match against Roman, who's on SmackDown. Now, the only reason that I could come up with is Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard made a late decision here with Bill Goldberg going to Raw instead of SmackDown because they think Bill Goldberg in 2021 is some sort of draw. He wasn't a draw in the time that they brought him in the last couple of times. What makes you think he's going to be a draw now? They brought him to Monday Night Raw because this show is absolutely dying 1,000 deaths. And they need whatever ratings they could generate with Bill Goldberg being on this show. Because if he goes to SmackDown, then whatever Goldberg is going to add to SmackDown is going to make SmackDown that much more better than Raw, which we all know it is right now in its current state. But Raw right now is the worst show in the industry. Bar none. And the only reason why Goldberg showed up tonight instead of SmackDown, where he challenged Roman, has been teasing a match against Roman, is because this is another desperate attempt to try and aid the ratings on Monday night. This is nothing more than WWE running around in circles, refusing to push new talent, refusing to get consistent with storylines, refusing to build momentum for certain talents and make talents look strong. No, they want to bring in fucking Bill Goldberg on a show that's terrible right now. What do you think Bill Goldberg's going to add to Monday Night Raw? Nothing. So that's why they did it. Now, with Goldberg challenging Drew McIntyre, it looks to me that he might not be in the Royal Rumble. Now, WWE could pull some fuckery. I wouldn't put it past them. He could lose the match to Drew McIntyre, enter the Royal Rumble at number 30 because it wouldn't be the first time somebody challenged for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, lost, and then got into the Royal Rumble and had another opportunity at said title. Roman did it himself. If Roman is going to be going up against Daniel Bryan for the most part at WrestleMania, that's the way that they need to go. But Goldberg, if he's now in this match against Drew McIntyre at Royal Rumble, it would appear, it would assume that he might not be winning the Royal Rumble, which would lead to Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble, challenging Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and then Sheamus, he could win the Elimination Chamber and challenge Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania for the WWE title. So we would have WrestleMania set up as Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, with Sheamus gaining entry into that match by winning the Elimination Chamber, and then Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble and setting himself up for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I'm fine with that. I really am. With Goldberg and Drew, it means A, Goldberg might not win the Royal Rumble, and B, we might be moving on past this Roman-Bill Goldberg match, which, by the way, is not necessary at all. Bill Goldberg does not factor into anything that Roman Reigns is doing right now. Nothing. The only common denominator there is Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman is a big fan, a big advocate of Bill Goldberg. So that is where I'm thinking right now. But let me throw this curveball at you. Not only could WWE have Drew McIntyre beat Bill Goldberg and Goldberg go into the Royal Rumble and still win it, because that's something that they could absolutely do. I would not put it past them. What if Bill Goldberg beats Drew McIntyre? What's stopping WWE from doing that? Now, I don't want you guys to think that I want this to happen, okay? But we said the same thing about Bray Wyatt. They can't possibly have Bray Wyatt lose to Bill Goldberg. And what happened? Back in February, literally a year earlier, before tonight, Goldberg beat Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, in 3 minutes on what he thought was a jackhammer, but wasn't. And he squashed Bray Wyatt and killed the Fiend for the entire year. To a point where Randy Orton now burned him to a fucking crisp, and now he's got to reinvent himself again. What if Bill Goldberg beats Drew McIntyre? What happens then? WWE could have Goldberg beat Drew McIntyre, challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and we could have a unification match with either Roman or Bill, unifying both Universal and WWE championships. Could we be on the verge of WWE ending the brand split at WrestleMania via Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns? How many of you guys thought of that at the end of the show? Because it could certainly happen. Nothing stopping WWE from doing that. Now, I would not want that. Listen, I want the brand split to end. Don't get me wrong. I've advocated for the brand split for far too long. They fucked it up beyond repair. Monday Night Raw needs massive change. And the only way to fix Monday Night Raw is by ending the brand split. That's the only way. Because there's nothing that these people can do. Nothing. But what's stopping them from doing that? Now you're probably saying to yourself, oh, JD, they love Drew McIntyre very much. They couldn't possibly take the WWE title off of Drew McIntyre. What's stopping them? What's stopping them? They took the WWE title off of him already when they shouldn't have never taken it off of him. Randy Orton held that title for 2 weeks. Not one defense. The only defense that Orton made was against Drew, and he lost it. They stopped Drew's momentum. Put it right back on Drew. He had to start all over again. And like I said, we said the same thing about Bray Wyatt. They possibly couldn't beat Bray Wyatt. They did. We all thought that Bray Wyatt deserved better. Now we're all thinking they possibly can't beat Drew McIntyre. What's stopping them? What is legitimately stopping these people from giving you the worst outcome possible? It is going to be a complete shit show. Now, another positive about this Bill Goldberg situation. He gets that one match out of the way. We don't have to see him until whenever WWE wants to bring him back, whether it's SummerSlam in August, whether they travel back to Saudi Arabia this year. Who knows? Who knows? Two-match Bill. This is going to be one match down, 3 more to go on his current WWE deal. Goodbye. But now WWE is going to have us they're going to have us living in fear for the next 4 weeks. What's going to happen? If you don't think WWE is possibly thinking of putting the title back on Bill Goldberg to salvage ratings because they don't know any other idea on how to save this fucking show, Roman is carrying SmackDown on his back. The ratings could be better on SmackDown, but Roman is absolutely saving that show with Paul Heyman by themselves. What does Monday Night Raw have? I think Drew McIntyre is fantastic, but people are already saying he's the worst WWE champion of the modern era. They're putting this guy worse than Jinder Mahal. He's drawn the lowest ratings in the history of Monday Night Raw. He will be associated with being the WWE champion in a time where Monday Night Raw is at its worst ever in 27 years. You don't think WWE knows that? You don't think WWE would use Bill Goldberg to get this show to where they think they need to be? I'm not putting anything past these fucking people. At all. So that's where we sit. Goldberg is challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Actually, it was weeks ago where I said, listen, if you want to do the Goldberg match against Roman, then do it at Royal Rumble. Why would you take Roman and Goldberg in a match that was never supposed to happen? It should have never happened last year. Thank Christ it didn't happen. Take that and do it again this year. Nobody wanted to see it then. Who wants to see it now? Why would you go and do that? That would be counterproductive against what Roman Reigns is doing right now. Roman would be a fucking babyface. Nobody wants to see Goldberg beat Roman Reigns. Goldberg would be going into that match the biggest heel on the fucking planet. Roman would turn babyface overnight. Everybody would want Roman to win. I pitched this Roman Goldberg match at the Royal Rumble. Do it then, have Bryan win the Rumble, do Bryan Reigns, and then boom. Do Drew Sheamus, boom. Go out and contact John Cena, do Cena McIntyre at the WrestleMania show, boom. But that's where we're headed. That's where we're going right now. It's said that we're looking at WWE in 2020. You know, I could sit here and complain about it all night long, going into the week, going into off the script this weekend. I could sit here and complain about it all night long. But I think we all know that the company is absolutely clueless. That they have to know that what they are doing is garbage. They have to know. They know that they're putting on terrible television, but they don't care. And them not caring bleeds into the rest of the roster. You didn't see Ali. You didn't see Ricochet. You didn't see none of those guys on the show tonight. None. Hardly any of the youthful talent on this show you've seen. Ricochet was backstage talking to Mark Henry. Ali wasn't even on the fucking show. They don't give a shit about the future. This is what they do. They go and get legends. They go and get Goldberg to try and put Band-Aids on bleeding ratings because they don't know any better. I'll be here at 45 years old talking about Goldberg in his fucking 60s. Still wrestling for the WWE because they don't know any better. It's sad. It's sad that this show has resulted in what it is right now. This show was absolutely garbage. It was an abomination of abominations. Creative decisions that don't make sense. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know, man. We're going to try and go over this tonight, but those are my opening thoughts about Bill Goldberg. We're going to be living in fear for the next 4 weeks. We're going to be living in fear for the next 4 weeks. Because we genuinely don't. We all know. The last thing I read about Bill Goldberg is that Vince McMahon loves Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg says he would do anything for Vince McMahon. When the fuck did that happen? Vince McMahon says, per the report, I believe it was Meltzer, Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit if the fans don't want to see Bill Goldberg because he wants to see Bill Goldberg. Fear. We're going to be living in fear for the next 4 weeks until we get this match. As soon as that match is over and Drew McIntyre retains the WWE title, then we can breathe easy. But until then, question everything that this company does. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on the podcast, man. We got 2,300 live in the chat. I knew it was going to be a big night. As soon as Goldberg came out, I knew everybody that's been listening to me. I've shit on Bill Goldberg for weeks. He does not need to be on television. They don't need to be bringing this type of guy back. And here he is, showed up out of nowhere. Because this show needs ratings, and Bruce and Bill and Vince think that Goldberg himself is going to save this fucking show. It's awful. But thank you guys very much for joining me, man. Listen, hit that like button. It greatly helps out the video. Hit that like button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And hit the subscribe button, man. 3 easy things to do. If you want to support the show, those are the things that I need you to do. So hit that thumbs up and let me know what you think of everything that we talk about here in the video, down in the chat, and in the comment section when the video goes to get published on YouTube. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on the post show for Monday Night Raw. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That is Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Like I said, turn on the bell for notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 if you guys want to support the podcast via the Patreon page. Excellent perks over there. If you guys want to sign up, we got some great shit being handed out over at the Patreon page, so go and check that out. Everything you need is linked down below. If you missed Off the Script this weekend, I go over my top 10 matches in WWE on the main roster only, because NXT doesn't deserve my attention this year. Or last year, I should say. So I went over the top 10 matches of the main roster on Off the Script this past Saturday. Go and check that out. Everything you need is linked down below in the description of this very video. Go get your masks, mouthmasker.com/OTS. Go and get your t-shirts. That is the official Off the Script shop on bonfire.com. Go and get your Off the Script merchandise. And today's podcast is brought to you by my great friends over at Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout and save yourself 20% off. Do not become a stereotype. You know how the general wrestling fan gets stereotyped into being a certain way. I don't want you guys to be lumped into that category, man. I want you to look your best, feel your best, and smell your best going into 2021. And you can't do that without Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. That is code SCRIPT at checkout. Monday Night Raw opened up with a close-up of an iPhone. And it was Hulk Hogan's iPhone. It had a Hulkamania logo on it. Hulk Hogan's voice said that this was not the iPhone, it was the H phone for Humberto. Humberto's got his own iPhone now. I'm kidding. It was the H phone. On the H phone, you can Instagram, you can Facebook, you can YouTube, you could use Twitter, and you could also make calls. Hogan picked up the phone, and it had a picture of him on the front side of the phone as the home page. And he did, "What you gonna do, brother?" And that's the way we open Monday Night Raw. 2021. And you got Hogan doing the fucking finger point of doom. Awesome. Hogan actually made himself look like a complete fucking buffoon with comments that he made on ESPN. I knew I had to talk about this as soon as I seen the headline. Hogan comments on the mixed bag of reception he gets from the current WWE stars. Hogan spoke with ESPN before Raw Legends Night on the USA Network. During the interview, he discussed the way he is received by the WWE locker room. Now, Hogan, you guys know Hogan's dirty past. I will not get into such details here, you know. He has apologized, if you want to call it that, and some people have forgiven Hulk Hogan. Some people have not forgiven Hulk Hogan. And he was quoted saying on ESPN, and I quote, "It's a mixed bag. Some people I get a really warm reception from. Some of the younger guys are really cold to me. Like I'm coming to steal the main event." No, Hulk, they're not worried about you stealing the main event. They know you're not going to be an in-ring performer. You fucking has-been. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore, guys. I'm not a threat. Going back with all the legends will be a lot of fun. When I've gone back before myself, there have been certain wrestlers like Edge, Seth Rollins, that have told me to my face that the only reason they got into this business was because of me. The newer kids, I don't think they know who I am all the way. End quote. Now, he mentions Edge and he mentions Seth Rollins, And he mentions them in a way. Now, I didn't listen to this interview or whatever the case may be, but by reading it, it comes off like he's still trying to make himself be or make himself out to be this immortal character. Like he's still at the height of his fucking career. Like he's got this big name value in 2021. He's got name value, but he's got nowhere near anywhere close to being name value Hulk Hogan that he had in the past. But he uses guys like Edge, who made a miraculous comeback after 9 years. Seth Rollins, who's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, one of the best wrestlers in the WWE locker room. He uses these younger guys and someone like Edge, who's a Hall of Famer himself, and he tries to boast up his own ego. Oh, yeah, Edge said that. Oh, Seth Rollins said that about. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit what Seth Rollins said about you. I don't give a fuck what Edge said about you. But then he says the younger guys, the much younger guys, are cold to him. I didn't know everybody had to like Hulk Hogan. Why don't you stay the fuck home then? You're worried about what the younger guys think. Oh, they're cold. They won't come up and greet themselves to the Hulkster, right? Stay the fuck home. Nobody asked you to come to Monday Night Raw. Nobody wants to see you on Monday Night Raw. Maybe, Hulk, it's not because they don't know who you are. Maybe the only person that they know is a fucking racist. How about that? The Hulk Hogan that they know. The childhood hero that everybody grew up watching. The only thing that is in the back of their mind when they see you are the racial slurs you said on the fucking sex tape. Has nothing to do with who Hulk Hogan is as a WWE performer. They don't want anything to do with Terry Bollea. I'm sorry, Hulk. Go the fuck home. We're tired of seeing you and Jimmy Hart on Monday Night Raw. By the way, Jimmy Hart still looks amazing. It's like the guy doesn't fucking age. So that's Hulk Hogan. He also said something about preparing for Legends Night. He spoke to WWE India Today, I believe. Or it was just India Today. I don't know if it's a WWE publication or not. India Today. He talked about how excited he was for the show. Started out by talking about how he went into WrestleMania 1 with goosebumps and not knowing what was going on. He recalled being scared to death of Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. And he brought up wrestling The Rock at WrestleMania 18, which, by the way, was one of my favorite matches ever. Just because of where they were in that crowd. It's kind of one of those crazy WrestleMania moments for me to show up at the Thunderdome after all this time, to have Ric Flair and Kurt Angle with me, which, by the way, we didn't see Kurt Angle on tonight's show. All of my buddies, The Big Show. We've even got Beth Phoenix and Tori Wilson. We didn't see Beth Phoenix there tonight. She hasn't showed her face on one NXT episode. She's going to show up in the fucking Thunderdome. If she showed up in the Thunderdome and we didn't see her on NXT on Wednesday, there's a fucking problem. We didn't see her all year last year. So she was not there. It's just the unexpected wrestling moment I didn't think was going to happen this late in my career. I am just totally pumped for this. I feel like I'm getting ready for WrestleMania, he says, by walking into the Thunderdome. Good on you, Hulk. Thank you for being Hulk Hogan. Never change, Hulk. Everything is all about you. Everything is all about you. Oh, you feel like you're getting ready for WrestleMania by walking into the Thunderdome for Monday Night Raw. Blow me. If that wasn't bad enough to open this fucking show, Miz TV. Miz and John Morrison. I heard remote controls being picked up and the Food Network being turned on. Was Guy Fieri on tonight? I don't know. If he was, I'm sure you were watching, because this fucking segment was absolutely dreadful. It is the worst segment of the entire night, was this segment. This will go down at the end of the year as one of the worst segments on Monday Night Raw for 2021. And we're only one show in, folks. We got 51 episodes to go on Monday night. Imagine that. I just gave you guys collective nightmares for the rest of the night. They hyped Drew McIntyre defending the title against Keith Lee. Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. John Morrison listed Ric Flair, Tori Wilson, Booker T, Hulk Hogan. Miz said someone forgot Morrison and Miz. they held up the Money in the Bank, or Miz rather, held up the Money in the Bank briefcase, said WWE management has come to their senses and given him back his rightful property. They then introduced the New Day as their guests on Miz TV. Money in the Bank. I talked about this last week briefly. I don't really understand the logic here. This is one major logic gap that's, seriously, as big as Bruce Pritchard is, man, maybe as big as Bruce Pritchard, to be quite honest with you. I don't really understand the logic behind giving The Miz back his briefcase. There was a WWE official, and Jesse texted me about this tonight, and it's very difficult to disagree with his take on this. WWE gave Miz back the briefcase. They had Miz cash in his briefcase. Now, he didn't physically cash it in. It was John Morrison that cashed it in on behalf of The Miz. The Miz was out there doing everything possible to, get the briefcase cashed in. He was pressuring the briefcase to be cashed in. The referee made the decision. Referee's decision should be final. They altered the WWE title match at TLC to include The Miz. Yet they want to take that back and give The Miz back his briefcase because he personally didn't hand it in? I don't understand that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when Brock Lesnar cashed in the briefcase, didn't Paul Heyman cash it in for him? So, by all accounts, Brock Lesnar never cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. John Morrison and The Miz are a tag team. They are a tag team act on Monday Night Raw. John Morrison cashed it in for his tag team partner. Simple. How do you get yourself out of that one? All WWE did is ruin the gimmick and ruin the concept of Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank briefcase is as worthless as the 24/7 title is on R-Truth. Facts. I never want to see or hear anybody talk about a Money in the Bank ladder match being important again. WWE has ruined it gradually over the last 3 years, with each of those years getting worse. This is by far the worst they've ever treated the briefcase, and now it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. So the New Day come out, they dance, and they do their thing. Kofi said this segment actually is a new segment called New Day Talks, not Miz TV. I wanted to change the channel already. Xavier was playing the trombone. Kofi said he's the band leader. Miz said Miz TV doesn't need a band leader. Kofi said this is going to be a cookout, and Miz and Morrison aren't invited. He said their show will have it all. They listed what they're bringing. Xavier said, Kofi, I know you're a vegan, but we've got the beef. Kofi was imitating The Miz by doing his correct. And Kofi pulled out some cards and asked Miz and Morrison if they knew any New Year's resolutions. Morrison listed some things, including wanting to take a picture of himself every day so we could put together a cool montage at the end of 2021. Kofi asked who they'd like to go out to dinner with. That led to them doing their who bit. Morrison said, I'd love to take Tatanka out to dinner. Because everybody wants to have dinner with fucking Tatanka. Maybe they could reminisce over his match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 9. Or the great King of the Ring match that he had with Lex Luger in 1993. Miz told Morrison to stop playing into them. Miz said this interview had gone on long enough. Morrison also mentioned something about being a hibachi chef, I think. Which I think Titus is in the market for. If I'm not mistaken, Titus put out an ad on Indeed looking for a hibachi chef. Maybe Titus is expanding catering on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Don't kill the messenger. Maybe that could be Shayna Baszler after tonight. I have no fucking idea, man. I heard she's in the running. Enough. I'm sick of you making a joke out of me, out of my show. But The Miz is a joke. The Miz is a joke. Miz says he thought the new year would mean it's a new show. Yeah, me too. Me too. Teddy Long then came out. And he told him he's been a GM for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. He knows what the deal is. He announced Miz and Morrison would face The Undertaker, player. And then the New Day were excited about the idea. And then Adam Pearce walked out and explained to Long that, no, it's not going to be The Undertaker. Then Teddy Long said, I got a better idea, player. We're going to do a tag team match, player. We're going to do the New Day versus Miz and Morrison to start Monday Night Raw. New Day versus Miz and Morrison. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. Didn't we see this match all through 2020? Seriously. We've seen this match for at least 7 of the 12 months in 2020. And we're getting it to kick off Monday Night Raw in 2021. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. I don't know how anybody could be happy about this decision. So we got a commercial break. Kofi is in control against Morrison. Miz distracted Kofi, leading to an attack by Morrison. Kofi eventually hot tagged Xavier. I love Xavier. I've been saying for years, I think Xavier, Big E's getting a singles run. Kofi's getting a single or got a singles run, right? I would like to see Xavier get a singles run out of the New Day. I think he is very underrated. That's just me, though. Let me know what you guys think about that. So, Kofi eventually hot tagged Xavier. He went to attack both Miz and Morrison, knocking Miz out of the ring. Kofi leapt off the ringside steps with a flying clothesline. Morrison snuck a roll-up on Xavier and used the ropes for leverage. Kofi knocked his feet off the middle rope. Xavier then gave Morrison a shining wizard for the 1-2-3. Xavier and Kofi win the match and beat Miz and Morrison. And The Miz continues to be a loser on Monday night. I don't know what the difference is between Money in the Bank Miz and Miz without Money in the Bank. They're both losers. You give this guy Money in the Bank, have him lose the Money in the Bank, only to give him the Money in the Bank, and then come right out and lose the next match. And he's going to lose matches until he fucking cashes this thing in and loses it again. What is the point? Please, somebody fucking tell me, what is the point of The Miz holding the briefcase when we all know that he's not going to win the WWE title? I don't understand it. I really, really don't understand it. John Morrison cannot run fast enough. He needs to run like Braun Strowman runs and get the fuck away from The Miz. He looks like a fucking geek. John Morrison does not deserve to look like a geek. Get him out of there. Seen a video package. Nicely edited video package with Alexa Bliss challenging Randy Orton to do to her what he did to The Fiend. They showed her pouring the fluid, the gas, on herself and calling Orton a bitch, a little bitch. They went right up to Orton lighting the match last week, starting it, and he looked really evil. And they showed the cliffhanger that ended Monday Night Raw last week. So Charlie Caruso went right to interviewing Randy Orton and what he was going through in his mind as he was holding the match last week. He said the voice in his head was telling him to do it and set her on fire and watch her burn. He said he couldn't do it. He said people say when you face the Fiend, something changes in you. Orton said he showed restraint and he showed Bliss compassion and mercy. He said for that, I hate myself for it. He said the newfound hatred for himself is something he can sculpt. He said he is truly capable of anything and everything. He then asked Caruso to imagine if he directed his newfound hatred for himself towards someone else. And Caruso asked if he thinks The Fiend is coming back. He's like, I'm not here to talk about The Fiend. Don't worry about that. He's got some legends to go and have a word with. I don't know what they're thinking. This is now a half an hour into the show. Okay? We're half an hour into this show. And Randy Orton, half an hour in, said that he didn't burn Alexa Bliss alive. Now, that should have been the first thing that we fucking seen on the show. The show ended in a cliffhanger. The show ended with everybody thinking, did he do it? Did he burn Alexa? Did he not burn Alexa? So it took WWE a half an hour for Randy Orton to confirm that he didn't burn Alexa Bliss. Like burning somebody alive, burning a 5-foot Alexa Bliss is not on the mind of everybody and the entire fucking company. And then WWE has Charlie Caruso. Get this. I don't know how many of you picked up on this. WWE had Charlie Caruso ask Randy Orton if The Fiend is coming back. Casually ask The Fiend or ask Randy if The Fiend is coming back. I don't know what Bruce is smoking. Bruce might be off his fucking medication. Vince McMahon might be fucking somewhere demented, losing his fucking mind, locking himself in his office, not wanting to communicate with anybody. But somehow this slipped into the fucking script. You're gonna have Charlie Caruso casually ask if The Fiend is coming back. The guy was burned alive. He was burned alive on fucking pay-per-view, and he's coming back. Casually, she asks, is he coming back? Are you fucking serious? When I say that I hate the writing on this fucking show, folks, I mean it. When people tell me not to take it seriously, I laugh at you. I'm here in front of fucking 2,200 fucking people watching me live on YouTube on a Monday night when they got to get ready for work in the morning. Go fuck yourself. It's fucking stupid. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. I don't know how somebody can come back when they burn them to a fucking crisp. Garza. Apparently he's the new 24/7 champion. When this fucking happened, I don't fucking know. You're asking me to pay attention to every detail in WWE. It's the 24/7 title, folks. I got better things to fucking do. He's wearing the 24/7 title. Alicia Fox is there, who, by the way, I don't know if you realize this, is not a legend. She's not a legend. Legends have accolades. Legends, they have matches that go in the annals of WWE history and are remembered for a lifetime. Matches on the WWE Network that I would willingly go out and watch every now and then. Matches that have influence on others, past, present, and future. I don't know if Alicia Fox has any of that, but according to the geeks on social media, she lives in a $4 million mansion. Unless you're living in her fucking 8th bedroom, go fuck yourself. Nobody gives a fuck how much money Alicia Fox has, so stop trying to defend what is not there. She got 5 seconds on this show, and she's lucky she got that. Garza was about to give her a rose. Mickie James, Tatanka, and Sergeant Slaughter were there. Slaughter called him a puke for interrupting them. Garza offered Mickie the rose. Mickie James, by the way, who was an active WWE roster member, was moved to the Legends roster on WWE.com without her knowledge, and she didn't even know that WWE had moved her to the Legends side, and she didn't even know that she was supposed to be on this show as of a couple of days ago. She found out somewhere in a graphic when she seen herself as a legend and being promoted for the show. Not like she was doing anything on Monday Night Raw anyway. Garza offered Mickie the rose. She smiled and accepted the rose. Sergeant Slaughter took it, smelled it, and called Garza a maggot. I wish he'd go right up to Bruce and say he's scum. and a maggot. AJ Styles versus Elias. We got this match last week. I don't know who thought that we needed to see this match again on Monday Night Raw. This one went 10 minutes. Styles gets the victory. Really nothing here. I said it last week. Styles is in this plug him into anything role because they got nothing for him. WWE better come up with something quick. They better come up with something quick for AJ Styles because WrestleMania is coming up and AJ should be in a marquee match at WrestleMania. I don't know what that is. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe he wrestles Keith Lee. Maybe he wrestles Edge and they hold off on the Randy Orton feud with Edge for a little bit longer. I don't know. But they better come up with something quick for AJ Styles because right now he is in nothing and it's not where AJ Styles needs to be. They seem to be trying to getting Elias over and it's not working. But Omos was at ringside and Elias was in control. Elias went for a superplex, but Styles slipped under his legs. Styles escaped an electric chair by Elias, sent him into the corner. He followed with a brainbuster and then a Styles clash, and he finished off Elias with the 1-2-3. Styles celebrated. Jackson Ryker. There's no fucking difference. They're both fucking jobbers. Jackson Ryker swung the guitar at Omos, and Omos kicks the guitar out of his hand and breaks it in half. So, I think we have to come up with something for Omos now. You know how Braun Strowman runs fast? I think we need to start coming up with the skit for Omos. Omos kicks fast. Because he super kicked that guitar right out of Jackson Ryker's hand, and it shattered. It shattered in half on Monday Night Raw. And then Tom Phillips says, I've never seen a big man move like this before. You never seen a big man throw a fucking big boot before, Tom Phillips? Where the fuck have you been? Have you called a wrestling match before? By the way, AJ Styles announced himself for the Royal Rumble. Everybody's declaring themselves for the Royal Rumble. Oh, I declare myself for the Royal. It's going to come to a fucking point next week where I'm going to declare myself for the fucking Royal Rumble. Styles declared himself. Charlotte declared herself for the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton declared himself for the Royal Rumble. Everybody's declaring themselves for the Royal Rumble. What's stopping anybody from declaring themselves in the fucking Royal Rumble? Who gets that honor and who doesn't? It's got to be some fucking order here on the show. Not everybody can just come out and say, I declare myself for the fucking Royal Rumble. There's got to be some sense of order. Or am I losing my fucking mind? And by the way, you want to bring back legends. Why don't you bring back the gold tumbler and have everybody choose their fucking number leading up to the Royal Rumble to build some intrigue on when they're going to come out on the 31st? You want to bring back fucking Tatanka? Give me the gold tumbler for the Royal Rumble. That's all I ask. If you're not going to do anything to build intrigue for the Rumble, just give me the fucking tumbler. Moving on. Sarah Schreiber interviewed Charlotte Flair. This was for the WWE Network. And they showed the clip on Raw tonight. She asked about any advice she'd have for the women in the Royal Rumble this year. Charlotte said she would tell them not to listen to the critics because last year she was not considered a favorite and defied the odds and won. She then declared herself for the Royal Rumble. Let me get this straight. Charlotte says with a straight face that she was never an odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble and that she defied the odds. Folks, how many times have I told you that Charlotte Flair is all about herself and that she does nothing to enhance anybody she's in the ring with? She only is out to make herself greater than everybody else. How many times have I said that, and how many times have you heard me say that and then correlate it with something that she's done? Time and time again, I am proved right. Charlotte said that she defied the odds, which, in words, makes her look greater than she really is. She defied the odds and wasn't an odds-on favorite. She makes herself and boasts herself as, oh my God, look at me. I was better than everybody else in that Royal Rumble. That's exactly what that means. That's pretty fucking pathetic. That's pretty sad. You weren't an odds-on favorite? What happened? Did they have a new motherboard installed in you this year? Was it an old, out-of-date motherboard last year? What the fuck happened between last year and this year? I don't get it. Matt Riddle was backstage talking to Big Show. He asked if he ever thought of being the big bro. He sang the big bro. Listen, Big Show has a set of lungs on him, let me tell you. Show sang it back to him. Riddle was impressed. Then he left because he had to go get ready for Lashley. He said he talked to him later, but keep thinking of ideas. Orton then got in Big Show's face, and when all of the legends on this show did nothing, most of the legends on this show meant nothing to anything. It was Randy Orton confronting guys like the Big Show that actually seemed to fit into what's going on. Even though it was for one night and they have nothing to do with each other right now, it seemed to work because they were in a storyline last year. So he got in Big Show's face, did Orton, and said it must be an interesting feeling knowing that he can never compete in the ring again. Listen, Randy, don't get my hopes up, bro. Seriously, don't get my hopes up about Big Show not wrestling anymore. So, Show asked what he means. Orton said last time he stepped foot in the ring, it was against him, Orton, and he got RKO'd, and he got kicked in the skull. Show says he can compete anytime he wants, including right now. Please, listen. Monday Night Raw is awful as it is. We don't need Big Show back on Monday Night Raw. Orton grabbed his throat and asked if he's pissed off and going to do something. Show says, listen, I know what you're trying to do. You know, you want me to do something stupid. He won't. He says he's proud to be here with all the legends and Hall of Famers. Orton told him if he was truly proud, he'd get up and do something to him. He didn't, and Randy Orton walked away. So he was enticing Big Show to do something, but he didn't do anything to Randy Orton. Charlotte Flair came out with Ric Flair. And I got news on these two geeks. I got news on Charlotte, and I got news on Ric Flair. We got, or did I take the news? I think so. Yes, I do. I'm sorry. Charlotte Flair, if you guys know, like I just said, she announced herself and declared herself for the Royal Rumble. All right, so that makes Charlotte and Nia Jax, I believe, in the Royal Rumble, okay? And then on the men's side, we got Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan. They all announced themselves for the men's Royal Rumble. Ric Flair did an interview with CBS Sports to discuss the criticism that his daughter receives from fans and why he laughs at it, because he knows that she's not only the best current female wrestler in the world, but of all time. He says, and I quote, I'm not so much bothered by it. I just laugh at it. It's really sad, the impact that social media can have on people. She's got thick skin. Wrestling is the only sport where somebody can't be the best. Then Rick stated that people argue about who is better in all sports, such as Justin Thomas or Tiger Woods or Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. He says, and I quote, when she walked out the door at TLC, what did you think? That's star power. She's the best woman on the roster. She's the best woman of all time. I've been in this business for 49 years. Give me an example of who you think is better. You can't. I love Trish Stratus. I love Lita, but I can walk into a room and say, my daughter is the best. End quote. And that's exactly why he thinks his daughter is the best. Because Charlotte Flair is his daughter. That's what Rick wants you to think. Everybody loves Ric Flair. Who doesn't love Ric Flair? So, of course, he's going to say Charlotte is the best of all time. Charlotte is the best right now. But you and I both know that that isn't the case. I'm not saying she's not good. Charlotte is very good. I think she's incredibly overrated. I think she's incredibly overpushed. I think she's shoved down our throats because WWE is pushing some fucking agenda to make Charlotte the greatest ever. And she's not. Seriously. She's not. She's nowhere near the greatest ever. She's nowhere near the best right now. I say what I say because I know it's true. I don't have to be there. I know it's true. Just watch and listen and fucking observe. The woman doesn't give a fuck about anybody else. She doesn't give a shit about the Revolution. She doesn't give a shit about the division. She only gives a shit about Charlotte Flair. And if that was the case, then Charlotte would have lost to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Charlotte would have never won the Royal Rumble. Charlotte would have never gone down to NXT and fucking make the division worse. Worse. By all accounts, Bayley is better than Charlotte Flair. Sasha is better than Charlotte Flair. Io is better than Charlotte Flair. Asuka is better than Charlotte Flair. Give me a break. What they don't have is being Ric Flair's daughter. That's why Charlotte Flair is the greatest of all time, because her father is the greatest of all time. Meanwhile, she's done nothing memorable. Charlotte has nothing memorable on her resume. Nothing. And I'm going out there and really stretching it by even including a terrible WrestleMania main event with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey because she couldn't fucking handle being the only woman not in the main event. Sasha wanted to be in that main event. Bayley wanted to be in that main event. They're the leaders of the Revolution. You didn't see them fucking crying about it. Nope, Charlotte's got to be included because Becky's in it and Ronda's in it. Charlotte's got to be there too. If Charlotte gave a fuck about the women's division, she would have known that that match didn't need Charlotte Flair. Becky and Ronda was the story. It had nothing to do with Charlotte Flair. She interjected herself in that because she couldn't bear to not be in the spotlight. Fuck out of here. Of course, Ric Flair. Ric Flair's been saying the same fucking thing for 7 years now. Moving on. Charlotte and Asuka versus Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. I don't know why we broke Peyton Royce away from Billie Kay because, first of all, Billie Kay is even more excruciatingly awful by herself, which is pretty common with everybody. I think everybody knows that. But then you take Peyton Royce away from her best friend to pair her with somebody that's not her best friend in an equally worse tag team. For what? I thought the whole purpose of breaking Peyton Royce up was to give her a singles push, not team her with Lacey fucking Luger. We go to commercial break. Charlotte speared the shit, or Lacey, I believe, speared the shit out of Charlotte Flair. Or one or the other. Well, it was the other way around. And Charlotte speared Lacey. Who the fuck? I was barely paying attention to this shit. Really. She went after Ric Flair, did Lacey. Lacey was imitating Ric Flair's strut. Charlotte slapped her. Lacey tackled Charlotte. And yeah, I was right the first time. Lacey tackled Charlotte, speared her at ringside. Rick was watching. He was all like, getting all giddy. He had some blue chew on him. Back from break, Lacey had Asuka grounded on the mat and tagged Royce. Charlotte tagged in, went to work on Lacey a minute later. This was very sloppy. Asuka then kicked Royce in the head for a near fall. Asuka gave double knees to Royce. And Charlotte delivered what was absolutely the worst natural selection I have ever seen. It was like Peyton Royce just fucking melted into a puddle of fucking jello. It looked like Peyton Royce was putting her head down to go to sleep on a nice fluffy pillow the way she landed in this natural selection. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but my God, man, the miscommunication between both of these women made it the worst natural selection I have ever seen. You got to go back and watch it, and probably you won't see it because WWE, no question, is editing that shit out from every clip you're going to see on YouTube. So, Lacey broke that pin up, and that was even botched. So, Lacey stopped that pin, and there was the botches happening back and forth. Lacey snapped Asuka's neck when she was tied up in the ropes. Lacey then flirted with Ric Flair on the ring apron. Charlotte knocked her to the floor off the ring apron. Charlotte fist bumped Rick and then threw Lacey back into the ring. Back in the ring, Charlotte ducked a spinning heel kick, ran the ropes. Rick tripped Charlotte as she ran the ropes. Peyton then rolled up Charlotte for the 1-2-3. Rick at ringside looked confused. Lacey then kissed Ric Flair on the cheek, and everybody was calling this a miscue. I don't really know how any of this is pertinent to anything going on. I don't know why Ric Flair was brought in to be split from his daughter again. I don't believe how fucking terrible this match was. And I don't really understand anything. I don't. Like, was it supposed to happen? Did he do it on purpose because he wanted to flirt with Lacey? Was it a miscue? Did he meant to go for Lacey but actually did it to Charlotte by accident? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. This was fucking terrible. Absolutely atrocious. Sheamus was backstage, gave Drew McIntyre a pep talk about his title defense. He asked Drew to give Keith Lee an extra kick in the head for him for old time's sake. He said he'd do whatever it took to defend his title. Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart walked up to them. Hogan told Sheamus he's his number one fan, fella. He told Drew he's so excited about the title match tonight. He said it appears he's been training, saying his prayers and taking his vitamins. Blah, 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 blah. Cringe. In 2020, we're still talking about this shit. He said he's so proud how he's been waving the WWE flag high during these times. You remind me a lot of me, dude. Drew says he was flattered and it's surreal. He says he's positive about things. And Hogan has been positive about him for a year, and he thanked him. Drew asked if Sheamus and his big mouth reminds him of Jimmy Hart at all. Jimmy says, I can see the resemblance. Sheamus said none of them are funny, but he wished Drew luck, and he said he'd see them for drinks. Jimmy told Sheamus to lighten up and chased Sheamus away. Drew then yelled, what you gonna do, Keith Lee, brother? And he and Hogan finished the whole thing together doing flexes and fucking all this other shit that Hogan usually does. Absolutely fucking cringe. Cringe. Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley. This was a non-title match. The United States title was not on the line. Riddle made his entrance. They showed a clip of Lashley beating Jeff Hardy last week. I guess the Hardy Bros are done. The Hardy Bros are done, folks. I got news on the Hardy Bros. Matt Hardy makes fun of the Hardy Bros. Matt Hardy uploaded a new video to his YouTube channel. You guys can go check that out if you want on your own. And he talked about the Hardy Boys being one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Hardy considers himself and his brother Jeff Hardy as the best to ever do it. And he explained in the video. Now, keep in mind that he was absolutely in character while viewing this video. And he talked about the Hardy Boys being better than the Road Warriors, the New Day, and even the Bucks of Youth. He bragged about how They are the only tag team to hold the WWE World Tag Team titles, the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, the WCW World Tag Team titles, and the Impact World Tag Team titles. And when Jeff Hardy's a free agent, it will be the AEW Tag Team titles. Because you know that's coming. He brought up how they've held over 40 regional titles. Hardy added that in the year 2000, they were more popular and sold more merchandise than any team in history. This led to Hardy giving his thoughts on how Vince McMahon decided to put Jeff in a tag team with Matt Riddle as the Hardy Bros. He says this, and I quote, "As a matter of fact, Vince McMahon is so obsessed with the greatness and the popularity and the success of the Hardy Boys that he's created the Hardy Bros. He's put together another guy named Matt with my brother Jeff to try and recreate the magic that we once had. He's trying to confuse the marketplace because he so wishes he still had the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys with Jeff and Matt Riddle are not going to work. You would have had a better chance with a fake Razor and a fake Diesel." End quote. I don't see anything wrong in what Matt Hardy had stated there. I don't see any lies detected there in Jeff Hardy, or Matt Hardy rather, in his statement. Jeff and Matt Riddle are not a fucking tag team, and that's exactly what Vince McMahon was trying to do there. Oh, we'll just pair him with another Matt. Nobody will know because we cut his first name. Fucking ridiculous, man. They know. They know. So Riddle versus Bobby Lashley, this was not bad at all. I would not mind seeing this again with something a little bit more prominent on the line. So we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial. Riddle threw some kicks. Lashley brushed him off. Lashley landed a spinning back elbow and a clothesline. Lashley settled into slowing Riddle down, chin lock in the middle of the ring. Riddle mounted a comeback. Lashley blocked a suplex. Riddle countered Lashley and landed a punt kick and a broton for a 1 count. He then hit an immediate final flash knee for a 1 count. Bobby Lashley kicked out at 1. Riddle yelled at Lashley. So Riddle was talking trash to Lashley and MVP on the outside. Riddle climbed the top rope. He looked over at MVP. Lashley hit Riddle from behind and then lifted him off the top rope. Lashley hit him with a Dominator and started talking trash back to Riddle and put him in the Hurt Lock. Riddle pushed off the middle rope and started tapping out. But Lashley released the hold because the referee was in the way. He seen the referee trying to get out of the way. It was all happening in one big sequence. The Hurt Lock was on. Riddle was in the Hurt Lock. He was trying to get to the ropes to get a leverage on Lashley to get out of the move. The referee was in the way. He ducked out of the way. He had his back turned to the submission. Riddle was tapping out. Referee didn't see it. MVP is on the outside yelling, he tapped out, he tapped out. Lashley saying he tapped out, he tapped out. I released the hold because he tapped out. Referee's like, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So then Matt Riddle comes from behind, rolls Lashley up, and pins Bobby Lashley 1, 2, 3. MVP and Bobby Lashley are furious at the referee, and Matt Riddle runs out of the ring and says, I got you, bro. I beat you, bro. I didn't understand this booking decision at all. I really didn't. This is what pisses me off about this fucking show. And nobody's going to grasp this. Everybody's going to look at me as, oh, he's just complaining again. But here I am actually defending Bobby Lashley and defending the Hurt Business from terrible fucking creative. WWE has spent all of 2020 to make the Hurt Business legitimate on Monday Night Raw. They were the strongest faction in the WWE on the main roster. Bobby Lashley was the most protected man on Monday Night Raw. Bobby Lashley was the most protected man in the WWE, not named Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. I would even include Bayley into that situation because she's been protected, especially as champion. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre were the two names, not named Bobby Lashley, that have been most protected on this main roster. You spent all year last year building them up as a dominant faction. For them to show up on the first Raw in the new year and lose? Bobby Lashley loses by pinfall from a fuck finish because you are so lazy and you can't find any other means to get me a United States title match on Royal Rumble Sunday between Riddle and Lashley that you have to fucking beat the champion on TV, a dominant champion that hasn't lost. Beat a dominant champion on TV just so that you could justify Matt Riddle getting a championship match at the Royal Rumble. Does nobody find a fucking problem with that? I know I do. All I want is for them to actually try. All I want for them is to do better. Why does Matt Riddle have to beat the champion to get a fucking title match? Bobby Lashley now takes a loss for no reason. You need to start doing better. This fucking mentality of, oh, let's beat the champion and let's get the title match on the pay-per-view needs to fucking stop. Don't you see the fucking treacherous road that you're going down? Lashley now takes a loss for no reason. The United States Championship doesn't look any better for him losing. Why can't you have Matt Riddle go through an obvious decent mid-card to get to Bobby Lashley? Why did the mentality of beating others in the mid-card go away? Why can't he get wins over an Elias, or wins over Dijakovic, or wins over whoever, Ricochet? And then work his way up through wins to get to Bobby Lashley. Then you start the program. Then you get the match. Why do I sit here and make sense of their bullshit that doesn't? Yet I get shit on. Does nobody find a problem with this? I know I do. Do better. And stop defending garbage, because most of you who do make me fucking sick. All you're doing is showing me that I'm of a superior intelligence over you, because you couldn't come up with it. That I get shit on because everybody knows I'm right. Oh, but JD said it. He's a fucking asshole. If you see somebody else say the same thing I said, no, they'll be right, but I'm the fucking asshole. Fucking ridiculous, man. Everybody knows I'm right, man. Everybody knows I'm right. I want you guys to give me a 1 in the chat. I want you guys to give me a 1 in the chat right now. If you do not fall into the stereotype of average wrestling fan. And by that I mean smelly, fat, dumb, terrible BO, bad hygiene, on Bumble and Tinder, and you're swiping right at every fucking twist and turn only to get denied on every swipe. Give me a 1. I know you guys ain't that. I want you guys to avoid that type of situation. I want you to smell great. I want you to look great. I want you to feel great going into 2021, man. You can't do that without Dr. Squatch. You can't do it. I stamped my name to Dr. Squatch, man. I've been using Dr. Squatch now for about 2 months. And I stand behind the product. You guys know that I would never put my name to something that I don't use. I use it every day. They got soaps, they got deodorant, they got body wash, they got toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, you name it, man. The soaps. All organic. Especially the cold brew cleanse, man. Oh my God, I love it. You guys can actually go to drsquatch.com right now and save 20% off. If you like it so much, you could actually go and subscribe for a monthly subscription and save an instant 15% when you sign up for a monthly subscription. Use our code SCRIPT to get an additional 20% off, man. I want you to look your best, feel your best, and smell your best. You can't do that without Dr. Squatch, man. I want to thank them for supporting the podcast right here on Monday night for the Raw Post Show on Off the Script. That's right, man. Smith in the chat. You pencil neck geeks. Go to drsquatch.com and use code SCRIPT. Backstage, Charlie Caruso approached MVP and Lashley as MVP was telling a fuming Mad Lashley to just breathe. Everything's going to be okay. MVP said that there was no controversy and Lashley was robbed of a victory. He said what happened was a travesty because Riddle quit. Lashley said he tapped out. He said when he gets his hands on him, he won't just beat him, he'll punish his punk ass. MVP says he pissed Lashley off. By the way, guys, there was something that Drew McIntyre had stated on MVP, and I found this to be quite factual. Drew McIntyre actually said that MVP should be the breakout star of 2020 in WWE. He was actually interviewed by BT Sport, and McIntyre praised MVP and called MVP the actual breakout star of 2020. It should have been an award he was given in 2005, but 15 years later, he's still doing work. I would probably give him breakout star of 2020, even though he should have been breakout star in 2005 or whatever. What he's been able to do, he just came back for a little role here and a little role there, including the VIP lounge with me, and that was just a one-off appearance. Everybody knows how good he is. Such a great character, such a great talker, great in the ring as well. Even he thought, I'm at the end of my career. He's made such an impact and kept getting brought back. Inevitably, what he was trying to do and what he's been able to do is take Bobby Lashley to new heights that everyone knew he could get to. End quote. You know, it is very difficult to sit here and disagree with Drew McIntyre. When I did that random NXT show, when AEW Dynamite got preempted a couple of weeks ago, and I did that live stream of NXT, and it was the same day on that Wednesday that WWE did the Slammy Awards, I would have actually given Superstar of the Year on the main roster on Monday Night Raw to MVP. And for the reasons that I mentioned there, I'll reiterate here again quickly. He brought Shelton Benjamin back into relevancy. He took someone like Cedric Alexander, who was nothing more than a fucking mainstay in catering, and made him into a tag team champion and transcended his career to where he's probably looked as, right now that we see Cedric, he looks better than ever. He looks better than ever. This is the best he's ever looked on the main roster. And then Bobby Lashley, I don't need to tell you the work he's done with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was irrelevant on the main roster. Bobby Lashley was a joke. Bobby Lashley was changed to channel garbage. He made Bobby Lashley into a super beast. He made him legit. He gave him that mouthpiece that he so desperately needed. And MVP just oozes that confidence. And it rubbed off on all three of those guys. He took three guys and made them into regulars on Monday Night Raw, whereas they were not. Lashley was, but he was not doing anything. But the other two guys, they were not regulars. Nowhere close to being regulars. I would give it to MVP, man. MVP deserves more credit than he's really been given. Mandy Rose made her ring entrance, and Shayna Baszler was supposed to wrestle her tonight, but Baszler attacked her from behind. Referee yelled at her. Baszler rolled into the ring and waited for Rose. She wanted to get the one-up. Dana Brooke ran out Oh, I'm sorry. Catering ran out. She wanted to know if Dana wanted the green beans or the mashed potatoes for when she got to the back. That's why Dana Brooke was out there. She rolled into the ring and then challenged her to a match. I want to wrestle you because there's one oatmeal raisin cookie left in catering. I'll wrestle you for it. The winner gets the last cookie. That's why she was out there. So Dana Brooke and Shayna Baszler wrestled. This one went 30 seconds. And Rose was supposed to wrestle Baszler, but Dana Brooke leveraged Baszler's shoulders down for the 1-2-3 while Shayna Baszler had the Kirifuda clutch applied. Now, Shayna Baszler did not let go of the hold. Dana Brooke just pinned her 1-2-3. Shayna Baszler did not give a shit about winning or losing this match. She just wanted to choke out catering. So I ask you kindly, if Shayna Baszler doesn't give a fuck who wins or loses here, if she doesn't give a shit if she wins or loses, how am I supposed to care if she wins or loses? I don't really understand that. You choked her out. You tried to choke her out. Then she got a 2-on-1 advantage here. After the match, Rose attacked Baszler, and Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose 2-on-1 attacked Baszler and beat the shit out of her. I don't know why. Where the fuck was Nia Jax? Nia Jax was absent from the show. Backstage, IRS and Molly Holly were chatting with Ric Flair. Ric Flair said, "If you never slow down, you never get old." Orton then walked up to Ric Flair. And by the way, at this point, Molly Holly and IRS, that's Mike Rotunda, who is the father of Bray Wyatt. You would figure Randy Orton could say something to Mike Rotunda, but that wouldn't fit into Bray Wyatt's character. We're not supposed to know that type of information on television. Just found it kind of bizarre. He did shoot Randy Orton a nasty look, though. So Randy Orton walked up to Ric Flair. It's been a while. He asked him to walk him to the ring with Jeff Hardy. Flair said he'll never do that again. He said he had so much confidence in him once, and he just wanted to be with him. Orton said Flair was once the dirtiest player in the game, but now he's only slightly relevant because right now of Charlotte Flair, of his daughter. He said Charlotte is 10 times the competitor he ever was. He talked about punt kicking him in the skull last spring as hard as he could, and he's back standing on his own 2 feet. He said when he looks at him now, he sees a man who looks and talks like Flair, but he's not the man that taught him near damn everything he knows. He said he's nothing, and he says he's just a pathetic old man. Backstage, Keith Lee was getting ready. He was stretching out, doing some stretches, working the band to stretch out. Riddle approached him, wished him luck, like he had against Lashley. I won my match, and I'm going to say here, we're going to have a new year and a new champ. And Keith Lee wanted to smile, but he took Matt Riddle's nice pep talk into consideration and said thank you. Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. Don't know why we're getting Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy just randomly when Randy Orton tried to burn Alexa Bliss last week. What happened to her, I don't know. But here we are with Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. These two had a great feud a couple of years ago on SmackDown. Not so much tonight. This match was utterly boring. This match was nothing more than a 6-minute headlock with Orton's signature moves towards the end. Hardy went after Orton at ringside. He threw him back into the ring from the outside. He climbed to the top rope. Orton rolled out of his way and then delivered a draping DDT. Orton pounded the mat, went for the RKO. Hardy countered with a roll-up for a 2 count. He went for the twist of fate. Orton countered with an RKO. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. That was it. No more, no less. Randy Orton gets a victory over Jeff Hardy in a meaningless match on Monday Night Raw. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander versus the Lucha House Party. The Lucha House Party wins in 3 minutes. Yes, let me repeat myself. The Lucha House Party defeated the Hurt Business in 3 minutes. Why? I don't know. There's no fucking explanation as to why the Hurt Business lost to the Lucha House Party that have been depicted as losers for the last 8 years. I don't get it. They built this group up all of 2020 to look dominating, and in one night, Lashley loses to Riddle, and Cedric and Shelton lose to the Lucha House Party, and it looks like Shelton and Cedric have something going on where Cedric is upset at Shelton, and Shelton is upset at Cedric. Could WWE be teasing the breakup of the Hurt Business? I wonder why. Were they doing too good on Monday night? Oh, they're doing too good. Now we got to break them up. We had enough of them. We don't know what to do with them. Now let's break them up. I don't get it. I really do not understand it. We got 3 of the Hurt Business members on this fucking night losing for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And then people were trying to justify, WWE was trying to justify, oh, all the champions on this show lost. Could Drew McIntyre be next? You fucking serious? That's what you're building this show around? Chance? Garza, who's been portrayed as a geek on this show, went up to Tori Wilson, who, by the way, also was not a legend. I'm just throwing that out there. Chatting with Nikki Cross, he tried handing her a rose. She dropped some names: Cardi B, Kylie Jenner, Ariana Grande, and pointed Garza to introduce himself to Cardi B, who was hanging out backstage, but she wasn't, which obviously got Cardi B trending on social media. He went looking, but instead, it was the Boogeyman backstage. But the Boogeyman and Cardi B with no makeup, I don't really see any difference there. So, I mean, it is what it is. Garza was so scared, he ran out of the dressing room because the Boogeyman was there. Truth rolled him up for a quick 1, 2, 3 and regained the 24/7 title. Nikki Cross was celebrating in the background. Tori raised R-Truth's arm. Tori and Nikki left with R-Truth, who were celebrating. And then R-Truth walked up to Garza and did a long-winded damn to Angel Garza, which was, to me, the best part of the show. Because I always get a ha 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 out of Ron Simmons doing the damn. Then we got the main event. We got Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee for the WWE Championship. This was not a bad match at all. My reservations on Keith Lee remain. He needed to bring his A game tonight. Or he needed to be the NXT Keith Lee of old, at least a little bit tonight. Couldn't be that methodical, slow, boring, giant that Vince McMahon wants him to be. My opinion still stands on him. I don't see the NXT version Keith Lee. He is not the same. He doesn't move the same. He doesn't feel the same. He doesn't even act the same. I don't get that NXT version of Keith. When Keith Lee's in the ring on Raw, I feel like he doesn't even want to be there. When I look at Keith Lee, I feel like I'm watching a man that has been defeated. When I watch Keith Lee, I feel like I'm watching somebody that has his soul ripped out of his chest. But that's what happens when you go to Monday Night Raw. So, this was a very slow match in the beginning. It started to pick up a little bit. We got Keith Lee doing the big pounce on Drew McIntyre. So WWE has its yearly gif they could fucking jam down your throats all week long. Pounce Drew McIntyre over the barricade just like he did Adam Cole. But the Adam Cole one still stands as the king of pounces because Adam Cole went like 5 rows deep at Full Sail University. Drew McIntyre just got lifted over the barricade into the empty void of the Thunderdome. So, Drew McIntyre went for a Claymore. Keith Lee ducked. Drew McIntyre went for a crucifix. He turned it into a sunset flip for a near fall. So, we got the pounce. We go to commercial. Drew rolled to the floor. After commercial break, Lee went after him. Drew powerbombed Lee off the ring apron onto the edge of the announce table, which looked fucking brutal. Drew leapt off the top rope with the clothesline. Keith Lee came back with a double chop to the chest, short arm clothesline for a 2 count. They battled back and forth with some backslide attempts. Drew flipped over and delivered a future shock DDT for a 2 count. All the legends were sitting on the stage, split in half, making this match feel more important than it really was. Lee then is going back and forth with Drew McIntyre on the top rope. I thought somebody was going to die here. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee on the top rope. Keith Lee pulls out a Spanish fly off the top, nearly kills himself in the process, and it was a sight to behold. And I'm saying to myself, there's the Keith Lee that I remember in NXT. That right there. Awesome. Awesome. That's what he needs to be doing. Not every match, obviously, but he needs to be showing you that he can do that type of stuff mixed in with the big man stuff. Not just very one-dimensional big man and nothing of the aerial offense that he can do and the high-flying stuff that he can do and the fact that he can move like a fucking featherweight in there. I want to see that Keith Lee. The WWE version, the Monday Night Raw version of Keith Lee is not anywhere near the NXT version of Keith Lee. But that was, and I appreciate that. He needed to be, at least a little bit for this match. Unbelievable Spanish fly off the top rope. Unbelievable. So he stood up. He nearly fell over because he was trying to sell the move. I don't even know if he concussed himself. It looked like he did. It looked like he hit his head on the way down. Did Keith Lee. He set up for a spirit bomb. Drew blocked it. Delivered a big spine buster. Got a near fall. Drew went for a Claymore, but Keith Lee blocked it. Lee went for another spirit bomb. Drew countered, hit the Claymore kick, eventually for the 1, 2, 3. The legends stood up on the stage applauding, and Byron Saxton called it a classic. Wasn't anywhere near a classic, but I appreciate the effort that both men gave us in the main event on a Monday Night Raw that for the most part was fucking dreadful. McIntyre retains the WWE title. After the match, Drew McIntyre wanted to offer words of respect to Keith Lee. He helped him up. Drew was about to say something, and Goldberg's music hit. He marched to the ring. He took the mic from McIntyre. We got a Goldberg chant piped into the Thunderdome, which sounded so garbage. It sounded so cringe. Goldberg said he was in the back and said there couldn't be a better representative to be the WWE champion. He says he has the size, the speed, the athleticism. But the one thing you don't got is respect. It's funny. Bill Goldberg is telling Drew McIntyre that the one thing he doesn't have is respect. I don't know who the fuck he thinks he's talking to. I don't know where the fuck he's been for the better part of 1.5 to 2 years. But Bill, the only one that doesn't have respect here is you. Nobody gives a fuck about Bill Goldberg. So I found that very funny that he had to throw that line in there when Goldberg, in fact, is the one that we don't have respect for. So Drew nodded. Is that so? Goldberg said when he addressed the legends, he sees them as washed up, tired old men and women. In your mind, you think in your prime, you were better than every one of them in your prime. You think that not one of them poses a threat to you whatsoever. Now, my friend, that's where you're wrong, and that's where I step in. He says it's about respect. He says he's not coming out there demanding anything. He said he's there to challenge him at the Royal Rumble. Drew says he wasn't expecting that, and that's not what he said. He says he's trying to get in his head. He said anyone who knows him, he's all about respect. Drew said fighting him would be like fighting his own dad. Goldberg and Drew laughed in each other's faces. Goldberg shoved Drew down to the mat, and the show abruptly, and I mean abruptly, went off the air. He wasn't demanding anything, but then he asked for a WWE Championship match. So it's like, you're demanding it anyway, which I didn't really understand. He says he's not demanding, but in fact, he is demanding a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble. And I said what I said about Goldberg in the beginning, and I stand by that. But it is very difficult for me to sit here and trust anything WWE has done with Goldberg after what they did to Bray Wyatt. Like I said in the beginning, WWE is going to have everyone living in fear for the next 4 weeks. Goldberg says that when he addressed the legends, he sees them as washed up, tired, old men and women. Goldberg is tired, old, and washed up. I'll never forget the rant that I did on Bill Goldberg after he beat Bray Wyatt. Goldberg is the most selfish son of a bitch in the entire industry. And he should have went into Saudi Arabia wanting to put over Bray Wyatt. If Goldberg didn't want to put over Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia, and the reason why he didn't I'm telling you this right now to end the show because this is exactly what was reported coming out of that show. Goldberg didn't want to put over Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia because he thought losing to Bray Wyatt would diminish his superhero portrayal in the eyes of the fans and the children that watch WWE. You mean to tell me that people still give a fuck about how Bill Goldberg is portrayed in 2020? Is that what you're telling me? I find that to be utterly ridiculous. This is coming from Bill Goldberg. I'm not even talking about Bruce or Vince. This is what Goldberg is on record saying, or it's reported that he said. Now, if Goldberg said that about Bray, and Drew McIntyre's been given the reins on Monday Night Raw, what's the difference between Bray Wyatt beating Bill Goldberg and Drew McIntyre beating Bill Goldberg? It's going to be the same thing. He's not going to want He's not going to want Drew McIntyre, Bill Goldberg. He's not going to want Drew McIntyre beating him at the Royal Rumble. It's going to diminish his portrayal as a superhero in the eyes of the fucking fans and the kids. So he's come back to do what? We thought he came back last year to put over the future. But instead he buried it. Now he's back again a year later in hopes of putting over the future. I give Bill Goldberg nothing. No benefit of the doubt. The only thing that anyone is thinking of is that Bill Goldberg is coming to bury the future again. He did it with Bray, and now everybody feels and is afraid he's going to do it with Drew McIntyre. I would like to think WWE is not that fucking stupid. I would like to think that a ratings desperation move that's going to last not even till WrestleMania is not the way you would go about it. And Drew McIntyre is worth more to you than a ratings fucking desperation maneuver. This show sucks. Everything about this fucking show is completely nauseating. From the roster, to the matches, to the booking and creative. And now we got Bill Goldberg back. Goldberg! Everybody's talking about Bill Goldberg, whether it's positive or negative. People are talking about Bill Goldberg. Let's tune in next week to see what good old Bill is going to say next. Fucking ridiculous, man. That's your Monday Night Raw review. If you guys enjoyed the review, man, thank you for 2,200 strong. Right here live, man. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. A lot of facts. A lot of facts here, man. I don't sugarcoat shit. If you guys don't like it, kiss my ass. For those that do, I appreciate you, man. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed anything I said, please consider hitting that thumbs up and please consider hitting that subscribe button down below, man. We are here weekly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live for pay-per-views when they are happening on Off the Script. If you guys want to hang out for the Super Chats, man, Super Chats are open. Get them on in. Let's talk about tonight's show. If you guys want to hang out for the Super Chats, you're more than welcome. If not, I'll see you back live on Twitch tomorrow. It's my stream day on Twitch, and then I'll see you live right back here on YouTube for AEW Dynamite, man. We got the New Year's Smash, and I'll be here with Jesse talking about New Year's Smash on AEW Dynamite. Ryuf Wildfire with a $4.99 super chat, man. Wrestle Kingdom 15, Okada versus Ospreay. And Ibushi versus Naito. Future Legends, New Japan Pro Wrestling just started the year off right, unlike WWE. Feels good to be watching again. I know, isn't there 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom? Isn't there another Wrestle Kingdom night tonight? Or did that happen already? Either way, I didn't watch. I did not watch. What is it? It's Kota Ibushi versus Jay White tonight, right? If I'm not mistaken. Sean Planet Stasiak, $4.99. Do you think Chris Benoit versus CM Punk would have been a good match? Of course I do. Chris Benoit is one of the best wrestlers of all time. And CM Punk is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Saeed with a $5 Canadian. Skipping Raw to watch Wrestle Kingdom. Raw accumulated the 30 worst ratings in the history in 2020 with 4 record lows being set. Saeed, is that factual information? I didn't think it was that many, 30. But I knew it was definitely 4 record lows, man. Got to shout out Royer, Crosby, Patton in the chat. The success of OTS has gotten so far to a point where as a fan of this, I say, if you don't like it, don't watch. Thank you, Saeed. Appreciate the factual information there. Brendan, $1.99 super chat. So no actual paying fans for Royal Rumble? No. No. I got information that the Super Bowl, I don't know if this is reported anywhere, but I heard from somewhere that the Super Bowl is going to have at least 30,000 people in attendance in February. And they're waiting for the Super Bowl to happen, and then Vince is going to make his decision on WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania, being that WrestleMania and the Super Bowl is happening in the same venue, if the Super Bowl has 30,000, I would expect WWE to be anywhere between 20 and 30,000 people for WrestleMania. Then that's when we'll see paying fans in attendance. So it's Super Bowl, and then we can kind of gauge where WWE is going after that. Marcus Thomas with a $2 super chat. JD, please do one watch along of Raw in 2020. It equals money. Bro, I don't do the watch alongs. I don't do the watch alongs, bro. I think the watch alongs are fucking cringe. I really do. Like, who wants to watch me watch something? If I give my reaction live, then you're not going to feel the reaction when I do the live stream here. Andrew Lovar, $1.99 super chat. Goldberg beats Drew, then title versus title with Roman. I talked about it in the beginning, bro. I talked about it in the beginning. It's a possibility. P Mac, $2 super chat. Really, ask yourself, what is stopping WWE from having Goldberg beat Drew, show up on SmackDown, confront Roman? Oh, you're the tribal chief now, right? They can't have Goldberg show up to the tribal chief empty-handed. Roman's going to say, I'm going to put you on the island of relevancy, but he's already on the island of relevancy if he wins the WWE title. P. Mac with a $2 super chat. Ron Simmons, haha, Legends Night, thumbs down. Henley Pierre with a $2 super chat. Goldberg not in the Rumble. Daniel Bryan has a chance. I hope so, man. Why is everybody mentioning Leo Rush? Leo Rush to AEW? Prince with a $4.99 super chat. Raw is trash like always and forever. I can't stand Charlotte. So selfish. I feel bad for Naomi when she comes back. And Goldberg shaking my head. A joke. Rick O'Shea with a $1.99. JD, that is on my short list for Best Raw of 2021. This show is on your short list for Best Raw of 2021? Don't joke with me, bro. Magician Sapphire with the $10 super chat. The first Raw of the new year, and it's already starting off in the mud. Bro, this thing is not even in the mud, bro. Whatever's beneath the mud. Whatever's underneath the fucking mud, bro. That's where Monday Night Raw is. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. What a bad Raw. At least Rick doesn't like Charlotte either. Let's hope we don't got a wedding angle with Lacey Evans. Any way to kill this show, bro, they'll find a way. I wouldn't even be surprised. Zach Wiles with a $4.99 super chat. I truly cannot imagine sitting through this dreadful show for 3 hours. You're doing God's work, man. You're welcome, my son. You're welcome. Thank you for the super chat. JP5150, what's up, brother? $10 super chat. Well, it's a good thing I chose not to watch Monday Night Garbage Legends Edition and instead waited for OTS, the source of truth with JD the Legend. What a way to start the new year. Hashtag OTS Legends Edition. Fuck yeah, man. Deb with a, I don't know what this is. It's a $40 something currency here, man. Something European, I'm assuming. The Spanish Fly looked awesome, though. Yeah, the Spanish Fly looked awesome. That's what Keith Lee is capable of. I want to see more of that Keith Lee. Rick O'Shea with a $4.99 super chat. JD, the year is 2031. 64-year-old Bill Goldberg rolls out of the ring on a hover around and challenges Kalisto to a title match at SummerSlam. Book it now. JM1, $4.99 super chat. WWE is trash, AEW for life. You said it, I did. Saints 2025, $4.99. Thank God I didn't watch this horrendously written piece of garbage. I did something more entertaining, and that is take a nap. Garbage is the new word for Raw. Well, Saints, I hope you slept well, buddy. Thank you for the $4.99. JM and Ricochet, thank you for the $4.99 as well. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. JD, what they need to do is trash the 24/7 title and replace it with a cooking show starring Titus O'Neil hosting cook-offs with the catering talent. Bro, listen, if that was something that they wanted to have happen on the WWE Network, I would watch. I think that is gold. That is money right there. JM1 with another $4.99 super chat. Dumpster juice is greater than WWE creative. You know what's greater than WWE creative? This Liquid Death sparkling water that I'm drinking, man. They should sponsor the fucking show. I mean, wouldn't I be a perfect sponsor for Liquid Death, bro? I mean, the greatest to ever do it, number one. And I listen to death metal. this is the death metal of water. It makes sense. Maurice Jackson with a $4.99 super chat. WWE does enough to get by just to say they put on a show. Frankly, I'm highly annoyed and I haven't watched much in a year. I don't envy your job. Maurice, listen, you don't have to envy my job, bro, but I love my job. I love everybody in this chat. The haters included, man, because they are my biggest fans. And I love interacting. I love getting my opinion out there. And who the fuck knows who's watching this show, man? There might be a WWE geek watching this show right now. A WWE geek might have been tuning in at the beginning of the show, man, saying, yeah, you know, JD is right. I can't say this, obviously, around my peers, but JD is right. Gavin with a Australian $5 super chat. -1 booking of last week's Dynamite proves one thing. Fire Bruce, hire a class of 9-year-old kids. It would be random, but it can't get any worse. Bro, prayers to the Huber family. Michael Raymond, $2 super chat. So is Ricochet's gimmick that he cries and is being bullied? Probably. Looks like he's on his way out to me. They're embarrassing that motherfucker beyond repair, man. They want him to have absolutely no value on his way out the door. If he re-signs, bro, Jesus Christ. Get the fuck out of there, man. Randy Shaddle with a $4.99 super chat. Just how bad can this show get? Hashtag fire Bruce Pritchard. It's only going to get worse, Randy. It's only going to get worse. Jonathan with a $4.99 super chat. Had a tooth extraction done today. I think that was much more enjoyable than this Raw. And also, no Bruce wasn't my surgeon, thank Christ. Bro, if Bruce was your surgeon, he would have fucking botched and you would have had irreversible fucking tooth repair. Tooth decay, cavities all over the place, bro. You probably have no fucking teeth. Fire Bruce Pritchard. Ricochet, $1.99. AJ looks dead inside. I bet he misses Vince Russo. Bro, AJ's going to be retired after this current WWE run. There's no way he's coming back. He wants family life. That man has done everything that you could possibly do as a pro wrestler. Mr. Cake, $2 super chat. Didn't watch. Also, rest in peace, Alexi from Children of Bodom. 41 years old, bro. Another one passing at 41 years old, man. The inspiration that Alexi was to everybody in Finland, man. Unbelievable. Jesse just texted me, Cardi B and Sasha Banks are flirting on Twitter as we speak at 1:17 a.m. Hopefully Sasha Banks doesn't get a glimpse of Cardi B without fucking makeup. You want nightmares? There you go. Montrell with a $2 super chat. They ruined the Money in the Bank the night Brock Lesnar won it. Oh, that was the beginning of the end, bro. That was the beginning of the end. Scott Lewis with a $20 Canadian. Been watching WWE faithfully since WrestleMania 2. And I've never seen the product so bad. JD, I've been watching you faithfully since WrestleMania 30, and you have not said one thing that I ever disagree with. You will always have my support. Scott, I appreciate you, brother. Been watching me since WrestleMania 30, man. You've been with me through the ups, through the downs, and you've seen this podcast flourish into what it is today, man. Sounding awesome. Love you, man. Thank you. Ricochet with a $1.99 super chat. Garza is the new pierogi chef in Titus Catering. In Titus's Brigade. Listen, man, I like pierogies. Some potato and cheese pierogies? Sign me up, bro. I'm good to go. No onions, though. Keep the onions out. Montrell Rather with a $2 super chat. Great. Just what you need. Another Goldberg title run. Unless you count Fox's accolade being a drunk. Was she sober or drunk during her segment? Montrell with the $6 super chat. Bro, I don't know. You said it, I didn't. She's got to be a legend at something, right? Whatever. Ben N. $5 super chat. This $5 is going towards JD entering the Royal Rumble. I would put that $5 back into WWE to give me the fucking gold tumbler back. Cardi B sucks. The youth of today is so poisoned, man. They think that what they hear on the MTV Awards and fucking the Grammys, it's all music, bro. Are you fucking serious? What a fucking joke. Music today is the worst it's ever been in the history of music. It goes to show you that people just don't have any taste, man. They really don't. They really don't. Big Wheezy with a $5 super chat. How can anyone defend this trash? I hope the ratings go under 2 for this show. Hashtag fire Bruce Pritchard. Hashtag fire Bruce Pritchard, man. I don't know how anybody could defend this fucking show, man. They either work for the company, got fucking stock options or something, man. They don't know Vince McMahon's asshole. I don't know. The show sucks. Join me in my fucking army. This show sucks. Kelly with a $5 super chat. You forgot to say your future wife's name. Tony Storm. JD playing Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. LOL. She's also better than Charlotte Bott. Charlotte sucks. I'd take Tony Storm any day over the fucking week over Charlotte Flair. Thank you, Kelly. Michael Reed, $5 super chat. What's up, JD? OTS always on fire, always on point. On Raw Talk, Mustafa Ali shit all over Legends Night. Said it was a waste of 3 hours. That man knows his shit. Ali ain't no dummy. Slammin' Sammy Joe. $5 super chat. Roman versus Goldberg unification match, main event at Mania. Roman becomes double champ, so that way he will be on both shows to help the Raw ratings. Listen, man, you and I said it. You and I both said it, bro. Hula Grim with a $5 super chat. No, JD, they can't see the treacherous road because they've been on it for years and won't change. Cobra Kai Season 3 is better than Monday Night Raw. Bro, I have not watched one episode of Cobra Kai. And I got Netflix. Maybe I should get on that. Mr. Cake, Ali is definitely an OTS guy. Jesse would probably chew me out, bro. I have not watched one episode of Cobra Kai. He's probably going to call me a fucking goon. He's probably going to recommend I watch the show. It'll be 4 years. He'll probably still be trying to get me to watch the fucking show. We would be in season 7 by that point. And he'd probably tell me, I told you. What happened? Go watch the goddamn show. Jericho8131, $5 super chat. Goldberg's promo made no sense. Much like his wrestling skills, he's the new Lesnar. Shows up once a year for a title match and go home. Get off my TV. Fuck Bill Goldberg. Maurice Jackson with a $4.99 super chat. Keith Lee looks like Butcher Bryan from Ready to Rumble and Donkey Kong Country. Just saying. I'd rather see Drew vs. Black. Dude, Aleister Black is on his way out, bro. There's nothing going on with Black. Levi Snyder with a $5 super chat. This show sucks. I really and truly hate it from the bottom of my heart. Last good year was 2006. Bro, you and I are both on the same wavelength, man. I fucking hate this show with a goddamn passion. I can't stand it. Yukio Rules with a $25 super chat. Shout out to my boy Evil Genius. He just texted me. Excellent Raw review tonight. Thank you, brother. Just wanted to show my support and keep up the great work, dude. Yuki, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. If you guys want some quality COD gameplay, go look up my boy Dr. Evil Genius on YouTube. What is Jesse saying in the chat? Surprised he hasn't said anything about me. Cobra Kai clown. Sick. $5 super chat. What happened with Lana? She got put through 9 tables just to disappear when Charlotte returns. What was the point? To punish her. That's why. Riddick with a $5 super chat. Recently started watching again. Keith versus Drew was decent, but as soon as I saw Goldberg come out, I decided I'm taking another month off. Forget this. Bro, nothing will be different, man. You're not going to miss anything from now until the Rumble. So go and enjoy the rest of your month. I'll catch you back at the Royal Rumble. Maurice Jackson with a $1.99 super chat. WWE is trash. Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. Random question. Did you see that AEW is apparently moving to Miami for the month of February? Yes, I did, Jacob. And they're moving to Miami because it is warmer than Jacksonville. And a lot of the wrestlers are not really liking the cold weather wrestling. I can imagine that's not really good for them. So they're moving to Miami, and they may be indoors. So we'll see what happens. John Chan with a $5 super chat. Watched since Ruthless Aggression. Your rants are legendary, and I honestly can't watch Raw. I come here for a breakdown and miss the way it used to be. John, I appreciate you, man. They're only going to get better as the year goes on, bro. The rants are only going to get better. Stretch Holmes with a $10 super chat. Glad Roman doesn't have to carry Goldberg to a 1-star, 1-minute match. Maybe Bray will appear at the Royal Rumble and absorb Goldberg and become Fiendberg. I don't know, man. Dolly G with a $5 super chat. If we do get Goldberg versus Drew at the Royal Rumble and he drops the title, will they do it where Drew still looks strong and not buried? Dolly, your guess is as good as mine. Again, do not put it past WWE to unify the titles at WrestleMania. Because they know Roman is a draw and he can show up on both brands. This is why I said it from the beginning. We didn't think that Bray was going to get buried in February. What happened? He got buried. Now we're saying the same thing about Drew. Do not put it past these people, man. Really. Joseph King with a $5 super chat. Who else in the IWC community do you have respect for? I respect Sean Ross Sapp. I think he does a great job over at Fightful. He never puts his name out there and reports any bullshit. Brian Zane is always entertaining. My boy BC. BC and I are cool. My boy Ticket Drew. I was always a LeBar guy. Justin LeBar. Who's now on Wrestling Inc. Not many, man. Not many. Most of the IWC fucking hates me, so it is what it is. But that goes to show you that they wish they were where I am, and they know that they'll never be there. Simple. When you can do what I do better than me, then you can talk. Until then, shut your fucking mouth. Florius Nation with a $10 super chat. What's up, JD? Raw Legends Night was a failure. New Year's Smash and New Year's Evil cannot get here fast enough. Hashtag Goldberg is a disgrace. Oh, I cannot forget Solid Monster. Solid Monster. Me and Jason are boys, bro. Solid Monster's my boy. How could I forget the Solid Monster, man? Come on. We got Edgar Estrada with a $20 super chat. Hey, Jay, the Raw Legends night is a bore. Sorry for anyone who wasted their night watching this trash. Goldberg is garbage. Such a bad product every week. Goons won't open their eyes. See you on Wednesday. OTS for life. Edgar, I love you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Aaron Lampert in the chat. Go fuck yourself, bro. Now you got timed out for being a fucking clown. Maurice Jackson with a $1.99 super chat. Name your Brody Lee fantasy match, past or present. To be honest with you, man, I don't have one. I don't have one. The one match I wanted to see was Adam Page. I would have liked to see what he could do against Kenny, Darby, another match with Cody. And Greg Vinson with a 99-cent super chat. He gives me a 100% emoji. Thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate you. Timothy Bach also got benched. Get the fuck out of here, bro. All right, guys. I am about to get out of here, man. What a show. We've been here for 2 hours and 12 minutes, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. This will be uploaded on Spotify and iTunes as soon as this goes off the air. So thank you guys on Spotify and iTunes for all your support, man. Appreciate you guys. Love you over there. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, man. We broke everything down the best we could. We just don't know what's going to happen next. Like I said, we're going to be living in fear for the next 4 weeks, bro. So we'll see what happens. Chucky Rose with a $2 super chat. Watch AEW where Omega will get cucked by Sting. Bro, you are watching the wrong product. You're watching the wrong product, bro. Sting is not wrestling for the world title. This isn't fucking Bruce Pritchard, okay? Go fuck yourself. Anyway, guys, follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Instagram, same. JD from NY206. I will be on Twitch tomorrow, 1 p.m. Come hang out with me. We'll bullshit. We'll play some Call of Duty. Grinding, as always. If you missed any of the videos on the channel, go and check all of them out. All the new playlists will be down below in the description below. Go and check that shit out. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go and subscribe to the Patreon page. It's the best way to support the show. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. Bonfire.com for all your off-the-script t-shirts. And make sure you guys check out Dr. Squatch, man. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout, man. Legends Night was a failure. Goldberg has returned, and we will keep up to date on all the happenings this week right here on the podcast, man. Thank you guys again. Hit that thumbs up. We got 30 more to go for 1,000. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. I'm going to take my cold beverage. I'm getting in the Mustang. Windows are going to be down, man. You all know the deal. Crank that volume up to max. Let me see those guitar emojis in the chat. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday night for Dynamite. See you guys later.